It's September 16th. There's still 2 weeks left of baseball, and we got some wild card races to iron out. Let's talk baseball. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Talkin Baseball. My name is John Boy. I got my co-host. No?
That was a lie.
My name's not John Boy?
Wow.
I got my co-host Jake next to me. And we're going to talk some baseball. How you doing, Jake?
I thought it was Jimmy for all these years. I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's a lie. It's James, if you want to play that game.
I do. Thank you. I want to keep each other in check this episode. I'm in the John Boy lair. We got the Patreon people live. I kind of got the
it looks like I fucked it up.
I got the John Boy parrot seat going. I'm kind of over the shoulder. But I'm excited, man. We got a big thing going on today. In the baseball world, we're gonna meet a couple guys. It's whatever. Don't even worry about that. But I'm good, man. We're a big day, big weekend.
Big weekend. You came out here, and now we got a big week ahead of us. We got some events we're doing. Hosting our own event at the stadium tomorrow. That's really exciting. Today we're going to an event in the city to meet some cool people, hopefully.
I think so. We could say the event, right?
Sure.
We're going to CC Sabathia is having a Legacy gala tonight. Should be a who's of celebs, a lot of baseball players, a lot of pop culture people. Was looking at last year, DJ Khaled, if you're into that kind of thing.
What question are you going to ask him if you see him?
I'm just going to say we the best and give him a hug.
Not a bad strategy.
Thank you.
Cool.
What are you going to ask him?
I'll be the camera guy. I don't know a thing about him.
Okay. What if we're both on the camera?
Only thing I know about DJ Khaled is another one.
Yeah.
That's him, right?
Nailed it.
That's all I know.
You got it.
Does he sing or does he make beats?
Yeah. He's one of those guys.
Okay.
He makes some noises. He makes some beats. There's some music. There's some words.
That's totally out of my realm.
Classically what you'd consider, I don't want to say music, because he's making music, but not like songs.
I'll work the camera. You do that if he comes by.
You work him, I'll work him.
Cool. Because if I know another one, I'm sure that's all he ever gets, so I'm not even going to say that to him. I'm going to skip that one. We'll wait for the baseball players.
Okay.
Anyway, you want to go right into this, Jake? We got a lot of action. We're like 2 weeks away from the postseason. We talked about this last week. For this show, for Talkin Baseball, I am incredibly ready for the postseason. For the Yankees, I'm a little saddened by the season ending and my everyday games going away and nervous about the results. No nerves when I'm talking about the rest of the league, just excitement. So, I still got stuff to figure out, which is wild.
Yeah, I feel like that emotion you're talking about of wanting to get to the postseason. I mean, we've got 2 weeks left or so, and I think from there, I guess what we don't know is there's 2.5 teams that we're going to be talking about for the next 2 weeks that will be completely irrelevant. Like, there's going to be one AL team that misses the playoffs. It's going to be either Cleveland or Tampa or Oakland.
I feel like Oakland's cementing themselves. They're on a 6-game winning streak.
And we like that. But I mean we're gonna spend time on one of those teams and they're gonna not end up making the playoffs. The NL Central / NL Wild Card, it's who is it? And we just want to know the matchup. Like, how many times have you and I now, because it's so fun to think about, have wandered down the Washington Nationals hole and be like, yo, they gotta throw Scherzer, right?
We got to throw.
And it's like, that conversation is a lot of fun, but we've had it 3 times, and there's 2 weeks until that game.
Yeah.
So it's like, get us home, baby.
All right, let's talk about what happened this weekend. We have the National League Report, which is brought to you by our friends over at the Roosevelt's Shirts. Go grab one, Jake. Isn't that right over there? Roosevelt Shirts. They make fun shirts, conversational starting shirts. You can't even go buy a carton of milk without someone say, hey, man, What's up with that shirt?
Good luck with your milk.
Good luck with your milk and cool shirt. And they're like, oh, don't talk to me. I'm buying milk. I'd rather not talk to a random person.
Just came out here for milk. I have
even
headphones and glasses on. Why would you think I want to talk to you? Oh, because I've got swag dripping on my swag bag. Should I say that to college?
Yikes, that was bad. Well, anyway, go to Roosevelt's rsvlts.com/JohnBoy. They've curated a list of baseball shirts. They're fun. And you get 20% off your order, which we like to say, like, you put in that 20%, you see how much the discount is, and you're like, damn, that was a real one. Sometimes they're real, sometimes they're not. Go over to Roosevelt's.com/JohnBoy. Dare mighty things.
Dare mighty things.
Jake, can you give me the National League report?
I'd love to. James, at the top of the National League, the Atlanta Braves hold the Nationals to 1 run in the first 2 games combined of this series, including Soroka. Hey, pass to Soroka. He outdueled Scherzer in Game 1. Nats won the final game of the 3-game set. Braves, it's just what they do. The New York Metropolitans hosted the 2-time defending NL champs, the Dodgers, the Dodgers. LAD takes Game 1. Mets win an incredible DeGrom Ryu game behind a Rajai Davis pride of CT bases clearing double. And the Mets have the lead on Sunday Night Baseball, and the pen can't hold it. Dodgers take 2 out of 3 at City. Phillies interleagued. You'll hear John talk about them, and the Miami Marlins lost 2 out of 3 to Los Hibiro Gigantes. The 2 games the Giants won, they scored a total of 3 runs. In the Central, the leading Cardinals hosted the Yelich-less Brewers. Cards win Game 1, 10-0. Oh, wow. But then they lose the final 2 games, including the final game, a Ryan Braun grand slam in the top of the 9th Sunday to give the Brewers the lead. Council and the Brew Crew scratching and clawing, that's all they do. The Baby Bears. Oh my God, don't get me started on Bears Broncos yet, but this is a baseball podcast. The Cubbies sweep the Pirates. They score 14 plus runs in all 3 games. Come on, the Pirates, do a little better, but good for the Cubbies. The Cincinnati Reds take 2 out of 3 in the desert. A lot of impressive pitching performances in this set, including Trevor Bauer's best outing as a Red. The Snakes seem like the shovel is about to chop their head off. And those D-backs play in the West, John, where you know the Dodgers already clinched and they took down the Mets. San Fran beat the Marlins without scoring, and the D-backs might be the deadbacks. My Colorado Rockies hosted and swept, not got swept, the Rockies swept the San Diego Fathers. Rockies push across double-digit runs in all 3 games. Coors Field, baby, and that is your NL report.
Good stuff, Jake. A lot happened, huh?
Thanks, James.
How about those Dodgers? What the hell was that about?
I mean, they've already clinched the division, so, you know...
I meant Cubs.
Okay.
How about those Cubs?
All right.
What the hell was that about?
I was going to say, I was like, I don't know. Dodgers, Mets played some good baseball.
That's good. We'll talk about that. But like,
we will talk about
the Cubs went off. I'm trying to look at who the pitchers were for the Pirates. Look at this. Look at the lines for the Pirates.
Yeah.
Steven Brault, his line is 2.2 innings pitched, 8 hits, 10 earned runs.
Yeah.
3 walks. Jesus Christ. And then the next game, it is... Who's this?
Simply Marvelous. James Marvel.
4 innings pitched, so he made it longer. 9 hits, 7 earned runs. And then in Game 3, Trevor Williams, 2.1, 7 earned runs.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, what the fuck?
That's a bad look for the Pirates starting pitching. I saw someone in the chat, and again, we've got our Patreon Talkin Baseball chat going where people join us live. They said it was the most runs the Cubs had scored in a 3-game set since 1897.
Yeah.
Were you at that series?
No, I missed that one. I was fishing. But the Cubs, can I look at the Cubs pitching? Because like Quintana couldn't get out of the second inning. Or
You
the third
can
inning.
look at the Cubs pitching.
Because so the offense is there, but The offense was so there that Kyle Hendricks had a good inning or a good outing. Okay, Quintana did not.
Yeah,
And
you'll hear about Quintana's name later.
And Lester did not. So the Cubs, I'd still be a little nervous.
Yeah, 3 unearned runs there for Lester. Still not a good start.
I didn't even see that. I just saw the 5-4 and 11 hits, and that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Pirates. They've been, since the All-Star break, the Pirates have been one of the worst teams in baseball. But the Cubbies hold their serve. That's what you got to do. I mean, we've seen a lot of series where health is obviously the priority the rest of the way, so you're going to have some punt days, or you're going to see games the rest of the way where you see lesser relievers coming in situations they have no right being in if it was the middle of the season. But because rest and health is the priority, you're going to see some pitchers out there giving up moonballs in tight games. I know we've seen it with our Yankees. But the Cubbies hold their serve, and that's what I was getting at. I mean, if they had won 2 out of 3, we'd say, hey, you would have liked the sweep, but you got 2 out of 3. They got the sweep. Good for the Cubs.
They are now 2 games back in the Central. That's still a possibility for them.
Oh, yeah. And I think they finish up with a Cardinal series. They might have 2. I'll get that Cubs schedule going again.
Man, that'd be cool if that becomes in play. In my brain, the Central was going to the Cardinals, but the Cardinals, what did the Cardinals do?
Jim, Cubs-Cardinals have 7 games left.
7?
Yeah, man. I think I did the schedule a little bit last week, but yeah, they've got a 4-gamer this weekend, and then they finish the season with a 3-gamer.
Holy shit, that's awesome. So basically,
Central's happening.
I hate to break it to you, Cardinals fans, but right now you guys are tied.
This is what I was telling you, and you were lost in the wild card, and I was like, no, let's bring that NL Central back into play.
But I didn't realize there were 7 games between the 2 places.
Yeah.
So that means if you're a Cubs fan, I mean, you're tied. With 7 games left, a 2-game lead is basically a tie. It means nothing. It holds no weight.
It holds a little weight. It holds a little weight. It holds a little weight.
You got to beat the Cubs.
Would you rather be 2 games up or 2 games down?
Straight up doesn't matter. Cubs have 7 games to do what they need to do, and they can not only can they take the lead, not only can they even it up, they can take a huge lead. So the destiny is in those 7 games. Nothing to do with the lead already there.
I will take the 2-game lead.
That's Cubs. If you're a Cubs fan, you should be cocky. Just got to win those 5 of those 7 games, and you're there. Because the last 3 are at the end of the season. That last series is going to be fantastic. Last
series is in St. Louis. FYI.
It's going to be great. They got to really match up their pitchers for that. It's going to be so much fun. All right, I'm excited about that. The Nationals lose a little in their wild card lead. They were like 4 games up as the top wild card spot, and now the Cubs are only 2 games behind them. And if the Cubs and the Cardinals are doing something and one of them falls, the Nationals may be scared about home field advantage.
Yeah, Nats a game and a half back. It'll be interesting how that Central sorts out. I mean, you mentioned the Cubbies. I mean, Milwaukee's 1 game back of them. The Cubbies Cardinals, you obviously went down to the make your own destiny path there. But Milwaukee is still right there. And yeah, man, depending how these teams finish, you could have a team leading the Central that gets out of the playoffs in 2 games. So yeah, I mean, and I guess this is kind of what I was open with. There's officially going to be 2 teams with severe heartbreak. It's going to be 1 team missing it from the National League. There's going to be 2 good teams that miss the playoffs in baseball. 1 from the NL, 1 from the AL, which I think is kind of the goal.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think the goal is to have more than that, but so many teams are tanking. Milwaukee, dude, are they gonna make noise without Yelich? I still think it's not worthwhile.
Jim, they're 9-1 with their last 10, and you're looking at the schedule right now. Name those teams.
Yeah, I know they got Padres, Pittsburgh, Reds, Rockies.
If I'm a Brewers fan, I'm peacocking more than a Cubs fan right now.
Yeah, but I don't think the Brewers can do anything in the postseason. So that's where I see this, and I'm like, damn, the Brewers are going to make the playoffs?
You just got to get in the dance.
Yeah, but I'd rather a team that I think can put up a good fight.
A lot of heart right now in Milwaukee.
You know what? If Milwaukee, I'll be rooting for them once they're in because I think they're kind of an underdog.
Yeah, exactly. No Yelly. They're just scrapping and clawing. Brian Braun's pretending like Yelich is dead.
I heard a rumor that if they win the World Series or make it to the NLCS without Yelich, they're thinking about just straight up cutting him.
Releasing him,
yeah.
Where'd you hear that?
And they just have a stamp that say not needed, and they stamp
Can
it.
you reveal your sources?
I can't. Who would reveal their source?
Okay. We know you're a well-connected man.
Yeah. It
Just,
was
like sneeze the source, so like we can.
at Brewers fan 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 on Twitter.
Wow.
They DM'd me.
Insider.
Yeah, that's that good stuff. Anything else you want from here? I mean, the Reds took 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks. They're dead, right?
D-backs got killed.
And Phillies got killed, too. Phillies are out.
Phillies are officially dead. Are you going to give the Mets any life? We said the Dodgers series. I said they just had to get one because they have a crazy easy schedule the rest of the way. But like looking at the Brewers schedule, they've got a crazy easy schedule the rest of the way. So
that's why I would be more excited for the Mets to go into the playoffs than the Brewers because
more arm talent
and East Coast bias that like I just naturally have from
right.
being an East Coast guy. I went to one Brewers game once.
Sure.
They were doing the play-by-play in the game. Like I was sitting in my seats and I was listening to the radio guy. It was some special occasion. I've reached out to Brewers fans like, no, that doesn't happen, but I would think I remember that. And it was terrible. It's like I'm watching the game. I don't need God telling me what's happening.
Right.
Like, he takes a lead off first. He's not the fastest. You know,
over the loudspeaker?
Over the loudspeaker in the whole arena.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
It was brutal. And it was my first time ever in an indoor. They had the roof closed. And I was like, this experience sucks.
Yeah, we're going to have to redeem that because that doesn't sound right.
No. I reached. I was like, do they always do that? And they said, no. It was a special occasion. It was like anniversary of the radio guy or some stupid shit like that. But me and my dad were like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. That's a tough one game to go to.
Yeah. I was living in Wisconsin, so we like just popped right up. I was living in Illinois.
Right.
So we popped up to Wisconsin.
I was going to say, if you have a Wisconsin chapter that you haven't told me about until now.
Oh, I did some time in the Dells. You'd love the Dells.
I am the Dells.
Wisconsin doesn't have any, like, fun parts.
Whoa.
So
Yikes.
Wisconsin doesn't have any shoreline or like big lakes or, you know, so they just created this place called the Dells and it's just full of water parks and go-karting. It's like a beach town, but they just smacked
They created
They created like a beach town vibe and it's the Dells and everyone goes there.
Tough episode between you and Milwaukee. The stadium experience, you said you're not rooting for them to get into the playoffs, and then you said there's no fun in Wisconsin.
But I did say if they make the playoffs, I then will root for them as
but for the
very
next
hard.
14 days.
Yeah.
No dice.
Well, right now in the Brewers' schedule, they are the favorite,
right?
And I'm going to root for all the underdogs.
Right.
But that's not true either. That's a lie.
Right.
Like if you're out of the playoffs, just fucking lose.
Ooh.
Let all the good teams just keep winning.
When the Brewers are holding that trophy, man, they're going to shove it in your face.
I mean, you'd put good money on the Brewers not winning the World Series.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, okay.
I mean, I put pretty good money on every team not winning the World Series. Odds and stats, and that's the NL Report.
That's the NL Report. Moving on to the AL Report, which I did, and here we go. All right, we're going to open up with a series you do not care about. The Mariners took 2 of 3 from the White Sox, and the Red Sox had a 2-game sweep over the Phillies. Don't care. Matters none. Moving on to the kinda matter, but kinda don't matter series. The Baby Jays took 2 games from the Yankees, 1 via walk-off. Bo Bichette, first walk-off of his life. The Astros went up north for some barbecue and some easy wins. They sweep the Royals, and they are now tied with the Yankees for home field advantage. Same exact record. Moving on to the games that really matter. The A's swept the Rangers, Jake. They have now won 6 in a row. They overcome 2 poor starts from Bassett and Fiers by scoring 100 runs. And the Rays could not complete the sweep against the Angels, who lost Mike Trout to season-ending injury. Glass now made another appearance. He looked pretty good, but he's still not stretched out at all. And Yarbrough got blowed up at Game 3, dropping the Rays a game behind the A's for the top wildcard spot. The Twins took 2 games from Cleveland in the same day, a doubleheader, and they were kind of both heartbreaking losses for the Indians, but they did win the 3rd game, which keeps them close in the wild card. Good job. And now, the biggest series of the weekend, the battle for the worst team in all of baseball. The Orioles and the Tigers squared off, and the Orioles cemented their spot as second worst team by taking 2 of 3 from the Tigers. But since the Tigers did win 1 game, both of those teams now have 100 plus losses. That's your AL report.
Was that all teams, or are we just killing some teams now?
It's all teams. 1, 2.
No Sox?
I did them. Thanks for listening.
Where are they?
Red Sox had 2-game sweep over the Phillies. No one cares.
Oh, I'm not seeing it on here.
Right here.
Oh, they're not bolded. Okay, my bad. I like your bold thing.
Nice.
You're a bold guy.
Thank you. Yeah, man. So there's a lot of stuff that doesn't really matter. Like the Yankees and Astros are playing for home field advantage. They're tied right now. Both teams have admitted that they value rest and health.
Yes.
Like Hinch came out and said it. Like rest and health is top priority. Boone said it. So it's cool that they both have the same strategy, and we'll see where it lands. But the wild card race is getting fun. The A's are on a tear. It's a little bit like I was saying with the Cubs, where like you want to be firing on all cylinders eventually. And right now, the A's offense is going crazy. But they had 2 really bad pitching outings. Like Fiers couldn't get out of the 1st or 2nd again, and Bassett got crushed. And it's good. Get the wins.
So does this help your Mark Fiers' tipping his pitches, or hurt your Mark Fiers' pitching?
We'll get to more Mark Fiers or Mike Fiers later.
Well, I want to talk about Mark, his father.
Oh, bad guy.
What?
Yeah. He doesn't keep any of his receipts.
Do you?
Well, no, that's a little different.
Okay.
Like because Mark Fiers burns the receipt right in front of the cashier.
Yeah, I mentioned the relief pitching before. Jimmy mentioned the Yankees and the Astros getting healthy. The walk-off was against Tyler Lyons.
Why you always lying?
And don't get me wrong, he's an OK State guy, go Pokes, but he's not a part of the Yankees team at all, really. I think he got him from Pittsburgh. They didn't want him, and the Yankees are just like, hey, if this dude can throw bullets and keep our guys healthy, we'll use him. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're at that point of the season. The A's, man, I know you said they had the bad starts, but they're chugging. 6 in a row?
6 in a row now, yeah.
A's are tough, man. They called up a few of the young prospects.
They're going crazy.
A's are mean.
But listen to all the runs they score, man. Like look at their last stretch of runs. 21-5-3, but then 14-8-6. They've had 3 games this month with double-digit, or 4 games this month with double-digit runs. If I could do math, I'd add all this up and then divide it by it.
Right.
But I'm not a math guy.
Not a math guy.
So.
Yeah, A's are rolling pretty good. I think we saw a lot of runs scored this weekend, but it was kind of wild. It wasn't a bunch of, there wasn't like a 3-homer, 8 RBI game. We'll talk about that in standout performances a little bit. But a lot of teams push runs across. And I mean, the main story in the American League, like you said, is the Orioles. No, guys, it's not. It was the Indians Twins. I know you were juiced up for that. When Cleveland's right, they're a super fun team. And we just keep thinking the Twinkies are going to slip up. And I think they've hit the point where it's like, no. I mean, they deserve a little more respect than they've been getting.
Well, they bullpenned the first game of the doubleheader against Clevenger, who went 8 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 10 strikeouts. Like, Clevenger had a really good start, but gets the loss because the Twins bullpenned against them, and every pitcher they threw allowed 1 hit, no earned runs. Smeltzer, Littell, Duffy, Romo, Rogers.
I mean, show that box score to Yankees fans, like, because that's the Yankees' plan in the playoff. That's going to be a couple teams' plans in the playoff. Is just bullpen the hell out of it. So yeah, Mikey Clevenger, if you have your 8-inning pitch 2-earned run, that's good. Twins bullpen went 9 no-earned runs.
Yeah, well then the Indians tried to bullpen game 2 of the doubleheader, and they made the fatal mistake of starting Tyler Clippard, who's been in the league way too long. He can't handle that. He gives up 2 earned runs right away. Hunter Wood, the Pirate, comes out, and then they go to Cookie in a role that he's not used to. Can't have these veterans bullpenning. If you want a bullpen, it needs to be is a new person that's coming up the ranks. Tyler Clippard and Cookie Carrasco have been in the league for a decade.
Yeah.
You think they're going to go out there and just like, yeah, I'll do this? I'm not a creature of habit at all.
Yeah, I mean, Carrasco, he's still working back from his cancer and stuff. Clippard, I fully agree with you. Clippard, you can't have him be an actual opener. Throw like weird Adam Simber out there. Like, that's as frustrating as it can get. And Jim, this game, Cleveland also had the lead in this game. Lewis Thorpe got knocked around pretty good for the Twinkies. But Miguel Sano had the big grand salami. And the Twins fought in Cleveland, which we've given a lot of teams credit for being able to scrap and claw at the right time. And the Twins did. Again, if they faltered this series, we would be banging the table talking about the AL Central like the NL Central, and the Twins took care of business.
Big home runs by Sano, but our dude Brewstar Graterol got the win in Game 2.
Brewstar hits triple digits, by the way. I'm a huge Brewstar Graterol guy.
Jake, Game 3, and I said this in the notes.
Right.
If Cleveland gets swept by the Twins, they're out of the division for sure, and they're kind of like a jump away from where they would like to be in the wild card. They could be 2.5 games with 6 or whatever 10 to play.
Right.
But they win Game 3 on a good performance by the Beebs, I think. Oh, actually, not that great of a performance by the Beebs, but they win it, and that keeps them in play for the wild card, which is they're only 1 game behind the Rays right now.
Yeah,
so.
And that's it's got to be an interesting feeling in the Cleveland clubhouse right now, because they came into this weekend saying like, "Hey, we're at home hosting the Twins. Let's get back in this AL Central and win it like we're supposed to." And then you come off the Twins shove a little bit, and now you are fighting for the wild card. You're a game and a half out. You're gonna need a little help, and you got to play good baseball.
Yeah. Damn. The Rays, dude. Blake Snell returns today, I believe.
Snellagram.
And Glasnow pitched again. Dude, they're like really going slow with him, I think. Because he only threw 50 pitches. So he's only got 3 innings pitched. But, I mean, maybe it's the same thing the Yankees are going to try and get out of like Severino. Just need a Swiss Army guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they even want to start him. I think they just want to use him as a 3-inning weapon out of the bullpen.
That'd be cool. Charlie Morton had a...
It's weapon season.
Wow. Damn. Where is this Glasnow? Motherfucker.
Where is this Glasnow?
Glasnow. Yeah. You think Snell's going to come back and be good? Because that's like a game changer.
There's a chance. I think so, because they're only going to ask so much of him.
Yeah, so Glasnow threw 41 pitches for the Rays in his return, which was 2 innings. And then he threw 51, so it's just a slight increase, which makes sense.
He'll go 61 next one.
Yeah. 61. Good
rules
movie.
Are rules.
Thanks, Billy Crystal.
Thanks, Will.
I want the Indians to overtake the Rays. You don't want that?
I don't think it's going to happen. It'd be tough to picture the Rays slipping up at this point. Like you mentioned, they got guys coming back. And Cleveland just hasn't been the same team without Ramirez. It's tough, but that's kind of baseball.
But you saw Puig having fun.
And I love Puig having fun. A good slap in the ass from Clevenger, that'll always get me going. But I don't know. It's tough to believe in Cleveland right now. You know who Cleveland's got coming up at all?
I don't know, but they're only a game out.
Game and a half, right?
The game in the loss column.
They've got the Tigers coming up. That is good.
Yeah.
And then they've got that Philly series. That'll be odd. And then they finish with the Nationals. So they go
Who?
So they go Tigers. So you got to sweep.
Yeah.
You have to sweep. No 2 out of 3. They host the Phillies.
Yeah, they'll
So you
sweep
got to
the
win
Phillies.
that series.
Phillies are out of it, and they're very sad. They're getting ejected. They're yelling. They're crying. They're out.
I don't know. I think they've got some pride. I don't think they're going to go full collapse. I think they still want to hit. White Sox. You go to the White Sox. You need to take care of business there. And then they go to the Nationals to end the season. So
Nationals are putting their rotation in order for the wild card game.
Right, but that still might line up for Friday, I think. So they still might get Scherzer. I mean, they still might get really good guys from the Nationals.
So I'm trying to think of how the Yankees have done it the last 2 years. You line up your wild card pitcher, so he pitches, on regular rest.
Right.
And usually that's the third to last game of the season. What you have.
Right.
So they might get Scherzer, and then the next 2 games they get complete scrap.
Well, they might get Corbin and them just to throw
an inning
60
or 2
pitches and get them out of there. Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting. The last 2 games may mean absolutely nothing to Washington.
Yeah.
And they could mean the world to Cleveland. So that is interesting.
Go Cleveland, go.
Go Cleveland, go Cleveland, go.
I am not trying to watch a playoff game in the Trop.
Get Trop with it.
I'd rather.
You might have to watch a World Series game in the Trop.
When?
This year. Last no season, baby.
Nah. Blake Snell, our best friend's coming back, but nah.
Rays have a 2-gamer against the Doyers. Interested to see what that looks like. They've got 4 against the Sox.
Is that coming up right now?
Yeah.
So they're gonna get that Catterday loser and, what's his name? Yeah. So that's pretty good for the Rays.
That's good for them. Then they host against the Jays. So,
could be fun. It's only 1 game difference, so I'm rooting for K versus Tony Gonsolin. That's the cat guy.
My God.
Sorry for another team.
Look at that. Proud of you. Wow.
I mean, I said I'm not. Stand out.
Boy.
I don't know. You got me all confused.
There's a lot of shades of gray this episode. It's been a fun part of this show, Chip. Yo, we got to get these dudes. Because there was a ton of hitting around the MLB. A little creative with our stand-up performances. Jim, I went a power-hitting third baseman route with my stand-out performances. And Eugenio Suarez, our guy.
Eugenio!
3 games in the big series. We like that.
I like that. Spread it out.
Putting together a nice little good. Jim, his D-homer pace, 80+. He was an all-star 2 years ago. He had a miserable last year. He hit 199 with a 6 in there. And it was literally a classic case of, you're broken.
Yeah. This
season, too. So he's got he had a 2-homer game against the Snakes. He outscored the Diamondbacks. Burger on the map. Shout out to him. He might be one of a lot of power-hitting third basemen.
Standout performance. And I just went straight up with, in Game 2, is DeGrom versus... Would you rather be named Wheeler Bueller or Wall?
Wheels. Ooh, Wheels is good.
Yeah.
It's a conversation.
Okay. Crazy.
Right.
Look at these matchups. And then they kind of came to. They, fit the bill. Ryu went 7 innings pitched, 2 hits. DeGrom, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits. Wheeler, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Noah has the worst. Syndergaard went 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and that's how you know it's good baseball. Game 2, you and I watched, and we were doing a live stream on YouTube channel, was really good. DeGrom and Ryu put on a show. I mean, it was tied after 10 innings pitched for Ryu, 2 hits, 0 earned runs. 7 innings pitched for DeGrom, 3 hits, 0 earned runs. One, really good for Dodgers fans because Ryu and Kershaw have been trending downwards slightly. Well, Ryu kind of was jarring.
Yeah.
And they get good outings out of those. But it was Sunday Night Baseball, so it's my standout performance because they put on a really good show for the national audience and any new listener or new follower of baseball.
I like it, Jim. And yeah, Ryu DeGrom, was as good as it gets. And I think this is kind of a weird thing that maybe people wouldn't expect, but DeGrom finished with 8 strikeouts, Ryu with 6. both teams were putting together good at bats. Like, these guys had to pitch a little bit. It wasn't just like, oh, Jacob deGrom had his A+++ stuff. He finished with 12 strikeouts. Like, no. Like, every at-bat was there. The pitchers were giving each other good at-bats because they had to.
Yeah.
Like, they needed to either try to get them out of the game or spark their own team. So that really was special.
Yeah. Want to know some people that weren't special?
Slump watch.
Slump watch. Jake, you did slump watch today.
I was going to say, when you said people that didn't do something special, I feel like there was a lot of eyes on me already.
Yeah.
But
there's so many names on here.
There's a ton of names, Jim, but that's good news because that means a lot of guys got off slump watch. Jim, we'll start with Ryu. You just mentioned him. He's been on slump watch. He had a couple gnarly starts there, and I'll give you kudos because this is you said it before me. We both thought it, but with the Dodgers, these guys can turn it on instantly.
Yeah.
Ryu had a good start. You shouldn't be worried about him at all. He's off. Jim, the next guy, this one's kind of a coin flip, but I think I know where you're going to land. Benintendi for the Red Sox. He only started one game in the Philly series, interleague play. He went 2 for 4. He had a hit by pitch, a sac fly, 2 runs, an RBI. I mean, it's good. I don't know if it's get off slump watch, but it's kind of bored watch with the Red Sox.
Just waving him away.
See you, Benny. Congrats, kind of. Jim, my guy, Eddie Rosario for the Twins. He went 0 for game 1, kept that slump watch going, but the next 2 games, 4 for 8, 3 home runs. And if you remember, an important part of Eddie Rosario is his season is teetering on a lot of fun numbers right now. His average is up to 275, so that's good for Eddie. His slugging is sitting at 500. So he could go right below that or right above, which 500 is a big slugging number, and his OPS is at 799. So Eddie Rosario, these last 11 games for him or whatever it is, are going to make his season look lot different.
He's right on the fence.
Right? Like,
goddamn. 275 batting average, 500 slugging, 799 OPS. Now let me just change that slightly. 278 batting average, 515 slugging, 810 OPS.
I was going to up it just a little bit more. 280 batting average, 510, and an 810 OPS. You're like, yeah, that guy's a really solid ball player.
That's a great year.
If he turns it down and he goes 269, nice, 489 slugging, and a 785 OPS, you're like, yeah, he's solid.
Average player.
He's average. So that's like, Eddie, like, you got a lot. When you see the bad pitchers out there this next few weeks, Eddie, you need to clean up.
He does. That's funny. He's off slump watch, though.
He works his way off. Jim, this has turned into its own segment, and he stays on slump watch. So Aristides Aquino for the Reds. He goes 2 for 11, no extra base hits. He got stolen base. We like that. We want to watch him anyway, so I mean he stays kind of no matter what at this point.
Yeah, but we're running into figured him out watch.
Right. This is going to be a big series for Aristides. Jim. So now we have the secondary list that you threw on there last week. Malik Smith, he goes 4 for 10 for Seattle. 2 walks, 2 RBIs, 3 swipes. Clean off.
Good job, Malix. He had a good series.
Good job, Malix. Jim, Travis Shaw, he only got 2 pinch hit at bats, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, or 2 plate appearances.
You know what it is?
Bad watch.
It's like this was a wasted season and no one cares anymore at all, Travis Shaw.
Like I would say on February 13th, you're going to read the Travis Shaw, got Austin Riley, yeah boy, your representative on my Braves. Jim, Austin Riley, and I think it's funny that Travis Shaw only had 2 pinch hit at-bats because Austin Riley only had 2 pinch hit at-bats, but he went 2 for 2, and he had a 2 RBI double. 2s are wild for Austin. I think that's how you get off slump. Indigo Doors, he goes 2 for 8. That's med, Jim. But he had 5 walks.
He's still on.
He had 5 walks.
It wasn't like he had 3 bad games.
Okay.
He was like a month of bad at-bats.
Post-IL, that's tough for Dansby, but I love that you keep him to that standard.
5 walks. That's not... The pitchers suck. Who are they facing?
The Nationals. You go Padres.
Hot boy.
Total hot boy of summer. He goes 2 for 5 with a homer and 3 walks. And for Austin Hedges, that's a very big series. Pistol Pete Alonso. I went Big C fishing this week.
Okay.
Pete Alonso, he's 0 for his last 20, Jim.
What?
Yeah. So that's how you get on slump watch. Pete Alonso for the Mets. If you don't know, come on, your Mets fans are now disappointed. You got to know Pete. Jim, another one of your favorites, Yadier Molina for the St. Louis Cardinals. Their catcher, he's 1 for his last 17. Another big fish in the boat.
Not good.
Max Muncy, your guy. Second base, first base, all over for the Dodgers. He's 1 for his last 18. I will say this, he has 5 walks in his last, I think it's 6 games, something like that. So he's got a fun stat line, Jim. 0.56 batting average, 320 on base, not bad. 376 OPS. So literally all Max Muncy has done for a week is walk. Change your name to Walker Bueller.
I got...
Okay, update on Dansby Swanson.
The first walk was an intentional walk because the pitcher was behind him. Suaro.
Ooh.
He walked McCann and then walked Swansby
Dansby.
and then got pulled. So, bad pitcher, too. The next was a 3-1 walk from Eric Fetty.
Leadoff walks, we like that.
So that's a mixed bag. It's not enough.
Mixed bag. We're not feeling great about it.
And then in the next game, and the Braves won 10-1. In the next game, let's see.
I think it's the game before this we need.
Before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No baseball.
Yeah, you get the benefit.
4-0 game. Okay. He stays. I mean, that's all this is. You want to get off, you got 3 for his last 22. No extra base hits. And Jim, he's kind of got a little bit of an 8 to it now starts with a 7. And his batting average went from starting 2.7 to now 2.6.
Oh, yeah.
So Vladdy's...
That's that magical threshold.
Vladdy's got to tell you. Everyone always talks about those thresholds. Jim, and then I got to throw a couple hurlers on there. Jose Quintana for the Cubs, you mentioned him. Jim, in his last 3, 10.1 innings pitched, 20 hits, 13 earned runs. That's good for an 11.32 ERA. And then Jim, finally, our guy, you and I had a fun chat about him this weekend, Cal Quantrill for the Padres. Jim, it's August 20th. You're having a good rookie year. 13 games started, 81.1 innings pitched, a 3.22 ERA. Cal, you're part of the future of this Padres team, kid. Keep twirling it. Jim, he's had 4 starts since then. The first 3, he gave up 8 earned runs in each game. His last starting, this last series, 4 earned runs in 3 innings. That adds up to 16.2 innings pitched, 28 earned runs, 34 hits. He's got a 15.12 ERA, Jim. When his ERA reminds you of Spanish Conquista year, brutal.
Yeah. I don't think his rookie year was that impressive beforehand. So they dropped him into the bullpen. That helped his ERA a little bit. Then they brought him back to a starter, and he had a good stretch of 7 starts. And this is where his good comes.
Susan.
Yeah. I don't think at any point Cal Quantrill was thinking,
good rookie season.
Because he got demoted. He started off as a pitcher, got demoted.
Pitcher. I mean, I think you're reading too much into getting demoted. And by the way, shouldn't we be happy he got demoted, did well, and then came into the rotation and continued to do well? That's the goal of it.
But now with how bad he's doing.
Oh, yeah. He's got fucking rocked.
Yeah. So, he's...
But as of August, went to Stanford.
Yeah.
One of those guys.
Mm-hmm. He's from Palo Alto.
Palo
Alto.
Well, he's a Canadian.
He is?
Went to school in Palo.
High school, Trinity College, Port Hope, Ontario.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's a Canuck.
Sounds like a Canadian name, too, so that's good.
There you go.
All right.
Jim, could you show me...
Unlike Cal...
Dirt nasty's on fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Chris Davis is on fuego.
Okay, with the K.
But... Wait. I don't think these are Chris Davis's stats.
Okay.
This is Bryant.
Chris Bryant.
Yeah, I wrote the wrong last name.
Also with a K.
Yes. The Cubs are on fire because they ran into the worst starting pitching ever in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And all the Cubs fans kept tweeting at us saying, hey, we got to get this guy on in Fuego, this guy on in Fuego. And I love that you send him over. And I'm going to give you 2. You could get more, but I don't like that. So Chris Bryant's last 6 games, I had to go back. In those 6 games, he's got 5 home runs and 13 RBIs. And his teammate, Nicholas Castellanos, also still raking since the trade. Like the Cubs' best player. He's in the series went 7 for 12 with 5 doubles.
Cubs, win. Jim, what do we... Because I genuinely don't...
I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to like really form a guess.
That's what I'm like...
850, 860 OPS, 340 on base percentage, 279
base. And I liked your OPS. I'll go 860 with you. Let's see. Chris Bryant. OPS.
Guy's an all-star.
Good job, Chris.
Damn.
Jim, the numbers we said were basically his exact stats last year. So Chris Bryant, and he only had 13 homers last year in an abbreviated season. But good bounce back year for Chris Bryant.
Yeah. So I went to the A's. You mentioned the A's are bringing up these young guys, and the bats are going off. Yes. Sean Murphy, rookie catcher for the A's. He's played 9 games, I think, and so far. A very small sample size. But in his last 4 games, he's got 9 hits, Jake. Okay? So, to catch up, Sean Murphy, rookie catcher for the A's. He's played 9 games. In his last 4 games, he has 9 hits. One of those hits are?
I'd like to.
4 doubles and 3 home runs. He's just fucking rocketing the ball. 6 RBIs and 8 runs in his last 4 games. That means he has combined to create 14 runs in 4 games.
That's not bad. Jim, his major league career up to this point. 9 games. 26 at-bats, 4 homers, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs, 423, 464, 1 dot, 503 OPS. That's straight rake squad.
Yeah, I mean, 9 games, so take it as it will. But he's hot. He's definitely on fire right now.
Counts.
And then I went to Yon Moncada.
Yon.
Last 11 games, he's got 23 hits, a 500 on base percentage. I like this one because I brought it back to 11 games. So this is a little longer than in Fuego stretch. And we've been talking a lot about the White Sox, Jake. They got a lot of lineup guys doing good things.
Yes.
Like they got a lot. So
Anderson, Moncada. Jim, Moncada's also in that end of season bucket with this hot streak. His batting average is now 308. His OPS just hit 900 flat. I mean, that a lot of people were ready to write
Sit him.
Bench him. Kind of ready to write off that Chris Sale trade, and I think it's going to look very differently in even 12 months.
With a 2.50 ERA, a little more healthy. He was on a knee injury earlier, but he's been on personal stats. But as a Yankee,
Well, the Yankees are 9-0, but James...
it's the same guys all the time.
Yeah.
Scalfani, got Sonny Gray. They got back. I don't know why I doubted myself. Against
Freaking cold snack.
a trader, dude. You're not supposed to leave New Jersey. It's on there, so I got however many that was. 6.
How about that? Is Descalfani the 5th in their rotation next year?
I don't know.
Bauer, Cast.
They had a Roark, but then they traded.
They traded Roark. So yeah, I was thinking Roark. Molly's been throwing a lot for them, but yeah, it's looking like they're gonna have 5 going into next year, man.
Well, you need 7.
But you need you need 8 or so.
Yeah. All right. Next up, this one's a quick one.
Way back, up, and... I don't even know. Goodbye, home run. I mean...
Who did the Orioles get hot? I took care of this one, Jake, and it's not It's not as fun as it usually is because the Tigers had a lot of guys that had great series. Harold Castro and Kristen Stewart both had big series against the Orioles, but they've been hot. I like it when a guy goes into the Orioles pitching slumping and then they turn on. Like Harold Castro, he was in like 270 and he had like 330 during the series.
Right.
But good for them. The Orioles definitely didn't contain guys.
No.
But they were already hot going in, so they're going to stay hot.
Go
And then
Tigers.
this next one, man.
What in the hell are you doing? You gotta be kidding me. That is so bad. That is
That's like the
absolutely
sound drop.
brutal. That is unbelievable. That is totally absurd.
Who got mad?
I was thinking for Slump Watch, we got to do like he's out of here or it's gone or something like that when they get off Slump Watch.
Maybe. Yeah.
Just
Maybe.
open on the mics.
Joe Madden got ejected, and to be honest with you guys, I did not look into why or what happened because Joe Madden exhausts me. And even thinking about going to click on a Joe Madden argument, I'm just like, boom, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Snitker got ejected, and this was the biggest moment from the week, really. Charlie Culberson took a fastball to the face. He was trying to bunt the pitch, and then the debate is whether he offered at it or not. You and I both think he still offered at it, right?
I think he offered at it. I think I told you this. I mean, it's funny like watching the brain think, and we watched that replay unfortunately too many times to get the breakdown up there. But you see, there's a certain point where the bat becomes a piece of defense for him, and so he's trying to protect himself. So I mean, some people are getting into the definition of offering. Was he offering to try to hit that pitch? Not really. Was he offering to try to save it from hitting him in the face? Absolutely. I do think there is a little bit of unwritten rules where that rule is put in there if a guy's leaning into pitches or if he's swinging at a pitch and it hits him and he's being dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, what the end result does suck, but
harsh.
by the book they got it right.
Yeah, I think it's harsh. A lot of Braves fans were mad at me. It's like, ugh. But Snitker got ejected, and shame on you.
You made him sound old, man.
I don't think I did. They also got mad because I mispronounced it to Snitker, which sounds cooler than Snitker.
Yeah, that's getting close to Brandt Snedeker, the golfer.
Maybe that's it.
Kind of combine the two.
Eric Hosmer and Dale Threm.
They should both meet in the middle and just go Snedeker.
Dale Sven got ejected. Didn't look at that. Eric Hosmer and Andy Green got ejected. That was like a check swing situation. Bryce Harper and Gabe Kapler got ejected. Bryce Harper gets rung up on a bad pitch. He goes into the dugout, looks at it, he goes, fucking so far off the fucking plate. I got to do a breakdown on this. My favorite part is Gabe Kapler runs out and goes, what are you running for? Are you running me too now? I was like, he's allowed to have an opinion. Gabe Kapler's too innocent for his body, dude.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a
Is it like a sad boy approach? What is it?
It's like a naive young kid.
Okay.
Who doesn't realize that ump's
Okay,
wrong.
I like that.
Like he's like so green. He's like, oh, I can't believe you've done this.
Why doesn't he get to say his opinion?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all of his ejections like have been that way this year.
Right.
He didn't have any last year because he probably didn't even want to put up a fight. Now I think he's a 3 or 4, and they're all like,
That's so like not Philly. Like he's been getting ejected, which the Philly people like, but that approach is like anti-Philly.
his face is too pretty for Philly, and his approach is too pretty for Philly. Like he is a California boy true and through.
Like should be the Angels manager.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is the Angels. Yeah, he's
Gabe
basically.
Kapler, the Angels manager.
Yeah, it makes
Okay.
so much more sense.
They should trade.
Osmus to the Phillies.
Yeah, Osmus is such more of a Philly guy. He grew up in the Northeast. He's kind of like tough.
Yeah,
Can we start those trade rumors? Osmus for Kapler?
it needs to happen. Kapler is the worst fit. I don't dislike Kapler. It's just not a fit, man.
Yeah.
And he comes off kind of dumb. Matt Joyce got ejected. Don't care.
Good job, Matt.
And that's it. That's it. Now we're moving on.
Hey, kid, here's the deal. You heard Yelich got hurt. We need someone to take big at bats for us.
You're up.
You're getting the call.
Someone in the chat said Joe Madden exhausts you, but Bryce Harper doesn't. Yes, Bryce Harper's an entertainer who plays the heel.
Right.
Nothing Joe Madden does is entertaining. It's just fucking drones on and is terrible. He's a good baseball manager.
Right.
People always don't think you can have those two opinions.
Right.
And sometimes his exhaustive arguments work for his team and is better, so it's a good approach. but I cannot watch.
the end of his Rays days, and then he wasn't really in the spotlight until Chicago.
Yeah.
But we'd seen it for not a decade, but close to before that. Jim, call-up watch. We only had 2 guys get the call because we're actually at the point of the season where if you're not called up, that's it.
Yeah.
He goes 1.1 innings pitched, 3 Ks. He's a New York kid, Bryant College roadie. Shout out. He got Kepler and Polanco with strikeouts. Those are decent ones. And Jim, his catcher actually threw him a bone. He struck out a guy wild pitch. So the guy got to first. So he gets the next guy out. So he gets a bonus strikeout, basically.
Not bad. Smart move by the catcher.
Barea, his name is supposedly pronounced Tress. I think you got to go Trace.
Bay.
They gave him number 73. I think that was for a reason to get the 3 in there. I think there's a Trace thing. Trace Barea, he only came in to pinch hit, did not get a hit. Jim, he's a minor league catcher. He's a University of Texas guy. I don't think he's a big prospect, but Jim, this is a classic case of play catcher. Nats needed another catcher for the next few weeks. Tres Barea was available. You're a major league player now.
He could make the wild cards. Some wild card teams bring
a third catcher.
Bring a third catcher because why not?
Yeah.
So cool. Good for you, Trey Bay.
Play catcher, kids.
Now we got a war.
In Jim, I'm giving out the vaunted.
Whoever watches this on YouTube,
right?
Someone did it right now.
Oh, it's not even close to that, but it's a lot. I like saying it. I think it drives home the hope. Gets your eyes looking at me, and I love looking at those eyes. Jim,
yeah,
I am giving out the prestigious Your Mother's Third Cousin Removed Award.
Your mother's third cousin removed. Okay.
Your mother's third cousin removed. We all know this, and if you are this person, it's not a shot fired, but you just have to understand. You go to certain family events, and you've got the distant relatives,
yeah,
and they just give you the same. It's literally one of those things that happens in a movie, and you're like, damn, that is real life. Like the last time I saw you, you were this big, and you're just like, yeah. Now I'm 22.
Yeah, I grew up.
What's this conversation going? And Jim, let's be honest, you don't want to see that person. In the nicest way. Like, if that's all you're giving to me convo-wise, I don't want to see you.
Okay. Who's getting this award?
Jim, the Minnesota Twins are getting that. Because they don't drive fear into you. But in the playoffs, you just don't want to see them.
Oh, I still think that you ranked them as you want to see them.
That's why I'm changing, Jim.
Oh.
Just because they make you uncomfortable. Jimmy, they are going to have 5 guys with 30-plus homers. They're on the road than at home. And if they're playing playoff games, there's a good chance that they're going to... If they have to beat someone, they got to do it on the road. We know that. Jim, you're going to love... Let me get the number.
Dude, it's definitely 100. You just dropped 6.
I know, but it's not 100. Where is it? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong page now. You're swimming in my head. Their record on the road, 50-25. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's impressive. And
is that the best in baseball?
I was looking at. Let me check. It might be. I think it is. Let's see the National League. Yeah, it's the best record in baseball
On the road?
So with all those power hats, imagine.
It's cool that they get to play 4 teams that aren't trying to win.
It is 3.
Good, though.
And you're absolutely right. It spins into a beat who you can, and their record against teams who are 500 and above still isn't too dynamic. I'm jumping around between pages and pages. Against teams that are 500, they're 32-37. So you still have some. They're not scary, but you don't want to see them.
Against teams that are 500, they're what?
32-37.
They have a losing record?
Yeah. I mean, so does Tampa. So does the Indians.
Prove me wrong, the Twins. Team.
Whoo! Shots fired by John.
I mean, if they make it to the World Series,
right?
I'm ready to place a bet. That's not terrible. Just so I'm not scared of the backlash of having these strong opinions.
Okay.
Nothing they've done really stands out at me. It's like everything, whatever. Prove me wrong, the Twins. Let's come up together. If they make it to the World Series, I'll do something.
And the closing on their uncomfortability, Jim. Brusdar Gratterall, watch his highlights. He does hit triple digits, ball moves, and they've got Sergio Romo in the pen, who's a guy that he doesn't scare you, but he just makes you uncomfortable because he's doing his bullshit on the mound.
Bring me Sergio Romo
Okay.
in a tight spot.
All right.
That little fidgety dude. He reminds me of like the kid in high school who definitely had weed in his pockets and was trying
Right.
so hard to not be the guy who has weed in his
Yes.
pockets, like walking around like trying to be cool but fidgety as fuck. And you're like, yo, dude, you're being very obvious.
And
right
he
now.
might have weed on him on the mound. He went to 3 different colleges. I was on his page before. 3 different colleges, and he's been on.
Award, Jake.
What's your award, Jim?
The Not Now Award.
Okay.
Mike Fires shaves his facial hair into the little fungus on your shower shoes until you make it in the bigs. Like,
Yeah.
dude, not now, man. Is it
He went fake injury on him.
going fake injury because he's doing so poorly?
I think so.
That's embarrassing. Not now. I would love the beard. Under
Right.
different circumstances, I'd love that beard. But you can't go 1 inning pitch, 9 earned runs, 5 home runs, and then show up the next day with that beard. You can't do it.
And then, yeah, Jim, he left. So think about this. Think about the injury stuff we've been talking about and how careful we are with pitchers. He left that start with nerve irritation in his right arm. Sounds scary / made up, but he's going to make his next start.
Yeah.
So that's a fake injury. We love the beard. He should have probably been on Enfuego. Sean Manaya's been doing really good. Left him out. Someone tweeted that at me. Fires, dude. That has to be a big worry in Oakland country.
Just clean up. Clean up the beard.
He better.
All right, let's go to elevator talk. I got the wheel.
Love the wheel. Get to see the wheel. This is exciting.
Here we go. Braves, skipping them. Astros?
Astros. I feel
They got
like
a
we've
lot-
done the Astros.
No, they got a lot. They got a lot going on these days.
Okay, I'll talk Astros.
Um,
Garrett Cole, 1,000 consecutive starts with double-digit strikeouts for his second to last start.
is how many times? So the Royals were the AL. He's been in the NL for a while, right?
A little bit, yeah. Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
And then Wade Miley, did he get blown?
Oh my God, Wade Miley's been getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you can't be like Greinke's not good, but are they? What's Greinke been up to since the trade? Greinke's good.
He's good.
He's good. He had 2 starts in a row, 5 earned runs and 4 earned runs, so you're not worried about that at all.
Yeah. He's got 25 homers. He's got Wood up, New Britain, another year as well.
Yesterday, but they're like Alvarez 5th, Diaz 6th.
Gurriel would normally be there instead of Diaz. They go 6 deep.
So where's
Insane.
Gurriel been? Is he hurt?
He played the last 3.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Man,
So-
Reddick's my best friend.
They go. Did I say Brantley? Huge talking point.
I didn't think he was, but
Correa sidelined due to lower 7 deep.
they're good, man.
Yeah.
Really good, and they have they don't have the easiest Yankee. Technically, according to whatever algorithm, the Angels are troutless.
Don't even have a Trout.
Don't even have a Trout, so they're good.
They're,
If you're an Astros fan, what are you nervous about? That's kind of my question. There's no glaring nervous reasons.
I think what they're nervous about is a couple things you're not a big fan of. I think that they have the best home, but you have slightly more reason than the
Confidence.
Right.
Well-
I think the year and the Astro factor for the Yankees.
Yeah. This episode of Talkin Baseball. Go the baseball. Go the teams. Everyone have a good week.